All right, guys, this is MobileGamerNerd, and we are here with another uncommon only run champion spotlight. Today, we're going to be looking at Hungerer, who is a awesome hero. Funny enough, I thought he was going to not be fun, and apparently he's really good and can keep your team alive. So let's take a look at him and see what he's about. He is an Ogren tribe uncommon hero, and he is also an HP hero. So basically, his skills, he only has two. That's what's good about these. They're quick, right? All right, so attacks one enemy, has a 10% chance of placing a stun debuff for one turn. That's it. Just it. Just stun and attack. And then he has a shield buff on all allies, 10% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Now, obviously, this isn't the best skill in the world, but you know what? It's good enough because he's all based on HP and it's based on his HP, which makes him really useful as far as being a shielder. He's essentially a Valerie. I mean, that's what he is, but he does his job well. So let's see what we did with him. We gave him a crit rate glove. We gave him obviously HP on his chest, and we gave him speed on his boot. As far as accessories go, we gave him HP on his ring. We gave him attack on his amulet. This is mainly because we had a pinpoint gear, so that we wanted to get some extra speeds. That's the only reason we really did it. Honestly, I'd probably put more HP on it. And then we've got defense on his amulet. Once again, it was just because we got the extra stats from pinpoint. You could really just boost his HP, and that's probably your best bet at this point. But that's where we're at as of right this second. We do have him in a bolster set. We ended up getting that from, I believe, from one of the forge passes. But otherwise, we have accuracy on him. I mean, does he need accuracy? It's probably good just because you can get that stun. He does have probably the highest accuracy of anyone on my account right now, which is kind of funny. Even though I don't use him for stuns, but yeah, that stun going off is not the best thing, but you know what? It's good when it like works. Then it's like the best thing ever, especially in the arena when you stun an Alice or something like that. It works really well for that. All right, so we do have him in a Rod of Blasphemy relic. That basically just gives him another boost to his HP and receives 2% less damage if under any debuffs. I mean, it's good enough and it gives him some more HP. As far as masteries go, we went a little bit different on him. You could conceivably give him offense to get a little more damage out of him if you wanted to. It's not super necessary because he's just going to be A1ing the whole time. So yeah, if you wanted to do War Master, I wouldn't say that's a bad idea. It's just not what we did. So we went down the support tree. We ended up giving him more accuracy. We gave him basically the increased value of shield buffs. All right. We've got all this stuff. Anything that increases his shield, all right, increases the amount of healing and value of shield buffs placed by this champion. If the target has 40% HP or less, we went all the way down through all these, right down to HP to get him more HP, since everything he does is based on HP. So there you go. We got him the extra HP, and then we went down the defense tree and just gave him some extra stuff. Increasing turn meter when an ally's attack. We just want him to go as fast as possible so that he's constantly putting up those shields. That's all we care about. We don't really care about his damage so much. We're going to try to basically get damage out of everyone else around him and just keep him alive so that he can keep putting those shields up, and that's really all that matters for him. Let's look at his total stats. I always want to go to abbreviations. So he's got 45,000 HP. Remember, we're still in the early game. We haven't gotten a ton of 6-star gear yet, so that's why he's like this. You're probably going to end up seeing this in like the 60 to 80 range once we start getting him in full effect. Attack is at 1200, defense is 1753. Speed is 170. Once again, we want to get that over like 200. Crit rate is not that great. We have him at 59%. Also doesn't really matter to us. Crit damage, 83. We've got 77 resist and 195 accuracy. Remember, this is one of the first few heroes we've built, so that's why you're going to see low-end stats on him right now. I'm just letting you know the things that you would focus on. Switch him out, put him in HP, maybe get his crit rate up a little bit higher, and you'll be good. The accuracy, I think, is more than reasonable enough to stay around 200 and something. I don't think you really need to go too crazy with accuracy, but I would have it just enough in case you want to get that stun off. So now where would we use him? Well, honestly, everywhere. That's where we use him. And it's not just because he's the first hero we built. It's because he's actually really good. So in the arena, we have teams like this. Basically, we are using Saurus, Archer, and Sniper as our main damage dealers, and then we bring him in. Now, normally, you would just bring in an attack up hero for an uncommon only run. You would bring in someone like I forgot her name, Intercessor, Spirit Walker, and have them be really fast to do attack up. That is something that would work. We haven't done it yet just because I haven't found enough gear to really level those guys, and I haven't gotten them to 6-star yet. So we're not going to do that. We're going to bring him in so that we can survive the fight and basically we're going to tank Alice's hit is really what's going to happen here. I don't know if this is a team that we're going to beat just because I've just realized there's a apothecary and the speed. So we're going to put it on auto anyway. Hopefully we don't lose. We'll see what happens. I'm not like, it doesn't matter if we do or not. There we go. I forgot to put on 2 times speed. So see, now that's going to at least kind of help us out with taking hits. See, they were able to tank that hit just because we had extra shield and she was able to live. Let's do another fight here. We're going to do a couple just so you can see. That's the only reason we use them in arena. All right, and it works. It's not the best strategy, but it works. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that, yeah, we're going to be up against teams like sometimes that are just going to be really defensive like this one right now, and we may end up dying, but now we have extra shield. See, we tank that hit. Not really that big of a thing. Shrugging off everything. Now we're going to revive again. And then we just basically use him to soak damage. That's what he's there for. He didn't get that stun off, which is terrible. This team isn't that strong. I mean, remember, we're only 92,000 power on this team right here. See, we're taking hits now. We're starting to get damage, but this is because we got some defensive heroes. See, that's right when the stun mattered is when it went off. There you go. And they're able to beat these teams pretty reasonably. I've beaten teams that are higher. I've gotten my butt handed to me. It's not like it's a perfect strategy. But yeah, just having him on the team is more than enough to kind of save your butt. He stunned that Syl, and he kept us alive long enough with the shield and stuff to not die, and that's all that really matters. And we want him to do that shield as often as possible because we want to be able to stay alive. That's it. That's all we care about. We don't really care if he does damage. The stun is great. I think it's I keep seeing the same teams. It's funny. I feel like everyone's leaving the game. What's happening there, guys? Make sure you play arena. I'm just kidding. All right, let's get out of here and see where else we can use him. So we do use him, I think, in Clan Boss, I want to say. Is he on my Clan Boss team? Yes, he is. So we use him in Clan Boss. He's there because he's got the shield, and essentially since we don't have a healer because we're only doing uncommons, yeah, he is great for this. And then we bring in poisoners, which we're starting to work on. Poisoners and then damage dealers, these guys can just constantly keep hitting, and then he keeps everyone alive. He constantly puts that shield up, and that's really what we want from him. All right, let's go into dungeons and see what we got here. All right, so Ice Golem. This is a suck fight. We've done this before. All right, so basically we've got all these guys in here. You could bring in Armiger. That is an option. I believe we brought her in just so she stays alive. We're going to bring her in now just because I want to see if she works in here, but we'll give this a double shot. So this is stage 13. This fight has been a crapshoot since the beginning. I forgot we re-downloaded the game. It's a tough fight. I mean, all around, it's a tough fight because you're going to get hit with tons of damage, and sometimes, you know what, you just can't take it. So this is not a 100% win team. This is I'm going to say 80 to 90% chance team just because sometimes you just get unlucky and do too much damage, and the boss is going to hit you twice in a row, and then boom, you're dead. But at least we have that shield up every couple rounds to soak that hit. See? Basically doesn't do much. And then hopefully he doesn't get that attack off. That's the problem, is the shield's down now, and we're going to get hit with another whack. See? Boom. So now it really just depends on who gets frozen from that point on. And if he can get his shield off again, which he just did, see? Massive Bulk. It's a great name for a skill, by the way. I'm just going to let you guys know that is my favorite skill name. Massive Bulk. All right, boom, boom. And now that we have our little healer girl here, she's going to basically come in and heal everyone and get their turn meter up, which is nice as well if she survives. Like I said, she's the lowest level, so she's got a high chance of dying, but she does have high HP, so that's kind of good. I didn't expect her to live. I just wanted to see if she worked well now. We're basically testing. There you go. Got a stun off. Those stuns are they come at the best time. See, she's dead. I knew she was dead. Everyone else here has lifesteal, so as long as he doesn't get two big smacks right at the same time, then we can survive it. Boom, boom. He's gonna get another wick. Boom, another smack. We don't care if Saurus dies. It's all the other three are the ones that matter. Look at that. Even with that little bit of health and that shield, he was able to survive that one hit. He's not going to survive that one, but either way, you get the point. All right, just that little bit of shield is enough to save your butt sometimes. And there we go. Now we got a, oh, and it's got speed. Look at that. Keep that one. But there, we did 271,000 with Saurus. We got Commander who died, but 13,000 damage. Hunger did 10,000 damage. Not going to do damage. I said this. Unless you put him in the War Master, and even then, it's not even worth it. I mean, when you're looking at this, no one here is in War Master. All right, every single hero here, my damage dealers, are in Helm Smasher right now. So the fact that none of these guys have War Master and they're all putting up, look, 400,000, 290,000, 207. Like, he put up 10. All right. Do you really think that adjusting his attack, masteries would really improve your damage? Probably not. I mean, you'll get something out of it with a War Master hit if he's hitting every other round. I mean, you might get on a reasonable fight, what, between 10 and 40,000 damage per hit, right? It's up to you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's up to you. I would much rather have him be a little more defensive and survive and get those shields up, maybe even speed him up a little bit and give him some more skills that will do something to keep him putting the shields up essentially. Um, Honestly, there's not too much else I would say about him. We can go into pretty much any dungeon and use him. He's on every team, obviously, because he's 60 mainly. But you can bring him in for pretty much anything you want. We'll do this. This fight is pretty much 100%. I don't think we've ever died on 13 and Dragon, but same thing. He's we don't have a dedicated healer yet, and there's only a few dedicated healers in the uncommon world. So unfortunately, using uncommons only, you know, shield is going to be good enough at this point. We're going to just have to hope that it's good enough to get us through certain things. But even here, I mean, he'll soak up some damage. He'll eat the poisons. That big hit when the shield goes down, you could pretty much knock that out. But he's probably better than a lot of shielders that I've seen. And that's the sad part. I would use him on my main account. Like, I wouldn't even just use him for uncommon. I actually do like him. And it's surprising because you could just make him super fast, like get his speed up to, like, I don't know, like 300-400 if you got the ability to do that. I'm gonna say 3 would be more than sufficient for this game, but yeah, get him up to like 300 speed and then just boom, he's gonna be putting up skills. If you get him to be able to reduce his skills, like a reflex set or something, just anything that'll give him kind of like another chance to put that shield up, boom, you're gonna have shields nonstop. It's gonna be amazing. If you're one of those fancy pants people who have really nice heroes, unlike me, you could conceivably bring him in with like Brogni or one of those heroes and test him out, see what he does, because you may end up kind of making a fun little team of shield extenders if you bring him in. So don't underestimate Mr. Hungerer. See, nothing wrong here. Obviously, he's not going to stun anyone. He's not going to do any amazing damage here. It's not going to be your best run ever, but if you are getting killed and you're having trouble staying alive, your lifesteal and your shields. That's all you need. Lifesteal and shields. And then hopefully a poisoner if you got one. My outlaw monk isn't that great yet, so don't expect to see anything amazing from him. But yeah, I quickly made Hungerer one of my favorite heroes in this game. We actually had built him before we were supposed to build a couple of other heroes, and it's mainly because I thought, you know what? I'm like, let's try him out. He's a shielder, and we need to stay alive. And I am so glad that I did it. And if you do not have him on your main accounts, I would take the detour to build him just because it's fun. I mean, you can build a legendary hero any day, right? But when do you get to build a uncommon awesome hero that makes shields fun? But there you go, same thing. Damage out 17,000. Yes, you could put him in the masteries, like I said, fix him up, and he'll do a little more. But I would focus more on the stuns and the shields, and that's really his best place to be. I don't think that we have, yeah. So in faction wars, just so you know, we are at what, 6 stars here. I just didn't do any. I just didn't go higher. I should have with him. Was it Ogren, right? It was Ogren, right? Yeah, he was Ogren. But basically, he can beat anything with almost any hero. Like that's basically it. Give him a damage dealer, and that damage dealer is not going to die when you're in faction crypt, and that'll at least get you through the first few stages until you start seeing some harder monsters that are going to stun you and freeze you and all that stuff. And then yeah, maybe you'll see some problems, but otherwise he'll get you through the beginning real easy just by himself with another attacker, because he doesn't, like I said, doesn't do much damage. So unless you got him real fast, he's going to get hit a lot. All right, but Yeah, if you guys have any questions, things you want to discuss, things you want to talk about, let me know. I mean, if you want to build yourself a Hungerer, feel free to leave a comment. I'll let you know exactly what we did and how we got him to where he is. But he's a really cool hero, and I really hope you guys enjoy him, even though he's a magma mess of oil and disgustingness. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. You help the channel grow. We do a live show every single week, and if you're interested, you become a member for $1.99 a month, which basically gets you access to all of my videos as soon as I post them, and you get emojis, and you get a free video every week that has no commercials. So that's exciting. And you get my undying love and affection and Hungerer, who is the best hero in the game. All right, so yeah, this is Hungerer, the really dirty foot magma soaked beast. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd. And you guys take care.